Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Today's video is highly controversial, and I like throwing these types of discussions out there because in the comments, we can throw all of our insight, our thoughts, our opinions, and it allows us to become more open-minded because you might make a point that I haven't thought about or vice versa. And this is very important for our strategy because when we're talking about such a broad subject of the silver squeeze and what this can entail for the future or what's happening right now, how this could affect the price, we've got supply and demand. I mean, there's a lot to this, So I want you guys to participate in the comments. Now, be aware of these fake silver slayers. If someone comments on your comment looking like me and telling you to text a WhatsApp number, please do not respond and try to report it if you can. I'm also doing a giveaway at 42,000 subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed. I'm doing another one at 45,000, probably 47,000. And then at 50,000, I'm doing a huge astronomical giveaway. I just gave away over $1,000 worth of silver once I celebrated 40,000. But trust me, the 50,000 is going to be a lot bigger. So I post daily videos and I do tons of giveaways. So being subscribed should be a no-brainer. Now, the Reddit short squeeze. We saw a little two-day crazy wave of buying of silver in the spotlight. I think this is the first time where a major audience really saw silver as it is. A lot of times people have a biased opinion on silver, and that's due to the media. You know, silver was the #1 performing asset in 2020, but nobody talks about it. I'm sure if you haven't watched my channel, if you haven't watched my videos, and I bet you've never heard that anywhere else. You probably never heard that anywhere else besides my channel. And that's because it was swept under the rug. If it would have been stocks, if it would have been Tesla, Amazon, even Bitcoin, it would have been everywhere. But it was silver, so nobody said anything. And why is that? Why is that, Slayer? Well, silver is a threat to a lot of things, and a lot of people don't want to admit that they were wrong. A lot of people hate on silver. Silver is the devil's metal, right? Silver is the riskier little brother of gold, gold's cousin, or whatever the case is. They try to downplay silver, and rightfully so. Gold is the royal metal. Gold is accepted by the majority, by banks. It's a monetary metal. Silver, it's this riskier, highly volatile metal that has been bearish for a long time, for about a decade. We saw $50 silver not even 10 years ago, but people don't look at it like that. In 2011, not even 10 years ago, or about 10 years ago, silver was $50. But people don't remember that. They look at silver and say, silver's been $15 for years and years. It's been $20. It's not doing anything. Why would you buy silver? They're not looking forwards. As an investor, you're investing into something. You're investing into the idea, into that not even just a metal or whatever it is. You're investing into it because you see the plan, the game plan, the timeline, the roadmap. And a lot of people don't look at it like that. They're looking at the right now and they miss the bigger picture. If you're looking at stimulus getting thrown out, if you're looking at the dollar index, if you're looking at supply and demand, anything, then it's blatantly obvious that silver is by far the most explosive investment and the most undervalued. So anyways, I just want to throw a little context out there. If we're talking about the short squeeze, we saw a very small window into what's going to happen on a much larger scale. Rapid buying. APMEX wouldn't even accept orders. Usually, you know, if you're a business, you always want to at least accept orders. Maybe there's going to be long delays or like a minimum buying amount of $400, kind of like what JM Bullion did. But APMEX wouldn't even accept orders. Literally wouldn't even let you buy it. That's crazy, especially for the biggest precious metals dealer like APMEX. JM Bullion had so much traffic, their site went down. Their site shut offline. Provident Metals couldn't buy silver. Nowhere. Even these smaller dealers on eBay, they were running out. There's this thing that people forget, and it's called herd mentality. When we're talking about a short squeeze, usually you would think, oh, just a couple of people trying to rally together. But when we're looking at it from people coming from Bitcoin, from stocks, people that have never invested a single dollar in their entire life. When everyone comes together and goes at a small market like silver, because silver is a small market, yes, it's a lot bigger than GameStop, but compared to gold, silver is a very, very small market, and that's also why silver is more volatile. I call silver gold on steroids. It's a much, much, much more dramatic, exaggerated version of gold because the market's a lot smaller. A lot smaller. So naturally, there's almost going to be a short squeeze from the situations that are occurring naturally. It doesn't even have to be a blog post on Reddit for this to happen. As the dollar crumbles, as silver becomes more scarce, as demand from silver starts rising, rapidly rising over the next 10, 20 years, which is guaranteed, the numbers are already in, we're going into a new digital, new technological era, and silver is the main component in all of these gadgets, from the electric vehicles to 5G towers to solar panels. Silver is what they need. Silver. So we know that silver demand is going to be rising and rising and rising and rising. But the supply, the production isn't rising that much. I think 3% increase this year. Where for the last 7 years, we've been cutting back silver production by the hundreds of millions of ounces. So we're already in the hole. We haven't even broke even yet. And then if you want to incorporate the SLV, which had the SLV with the other ETFs had a billion contract or a billion ounces. I mean, this stuff is way, way too big for the human brain to even fathom. I mean, it's really not even fathomable. All we can do is understand that silver is by far has the most opportunity. I could tell you 100 reasons why silver is a great investment for the next 5-10 years, and I could tell you 100 reasons why stocks aren't the greatest investment, or why stocks are a terrible investment. If you look at it from that perspective, someone who comes over, someone that watches my video, that's never invested into silver, that have always been investing into stocks or whatever it is, and they see this video, and they hear the facts, they hear the statistics, they hear, and they understand economics, they understand what's happening, and they still don't get it, or they're still debating, or they're still trying to say it's a bad investment, then they're just completely brainwashed or just stupid. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but if you understand what the dollar index does, if it lowers, then precious metals rise, and you know that throwing trillions of dollars in the economy is going to literally hurt the dollar index, so that's proof that precious metals will rise. If you understand the silver shortage, if you've been paying attention to any of this Reddit stuff with the short squeeze, it's so blatantly obvious. It's almost too obvious. People think it's too good to be true. A lot of people thought Bitcoin was too good to be true as well. Now we got Bitcoin hitting $60,000 today. We're living in a new day and age, and what you think would happen is out the window because we're living in crazy times. We aren't living with like we were a couple years ago when nothing's really happening. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, a silver shortage, a Reddit short squeeze, the most controversial presidential election, throwing trillions of dollars in stimulus out because millions, billions of people are out of jobs and people are starving, and it's only getting worse. If you look at it from that perspective, then you wouldn't be too surprised to see crazy things happening to markets right now. And if you're thinking that it's only going to limit itself, or that Reddit squeeze was a fail, this is just the beginning hasn't even really started yet. If you want to look at the bigger picture, think about silver in 50 years from now. Think about silver prices in 100 years from now. Think about Bitcoin's price in 20 years from now. People are so close-minded to this immediate 5 to 10 year time frame, they forget about the aftermath. What about when your kids are buying Bitcoin, or kids are stacking silver in 30, 40, 50 years from now? Imagine how much is going to happen. Imagine how much time that is. Imagine what the dollar, if the dollar won't even be alive by then. Bitcoin's replacing the dollar if you want to admit it or not. I mean, it literally is. If you look at a movie or think about the future of money, it's not going to be, especially with this pandemic now, nobody wants to touch paper dollars, right? Dollar bills go through everybody's hands, everybody's pocket. Do you think everyone's going to be wanting to touch that? No, it's going to be digital. And Bitcoin's a digital it's a digital coin with instant transactions, zero to little fees. And my point to this is we're living in a new day and age. So the Reddit squeeze was just the beginning. It put silver in the limelight. It planted a lot of seeds for people to understand that silver is a real investment. It has real potential, and it also can combat the dollar. Not even combat it, it's an alternative. There is no solution. We're too deep in the hole. We're trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. It's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. It's all going to catch up to us, and we have no choice. And that's the scariest part. Joe Biden, all these people, the excessive spending, they know what the aftermath is. They know what the consequences. They know what the effect is going to be from that, but they have no choice. What are they going to do? Tell all these people that are starving or that are out of jobs, sorry, we can't give you money? We don't have it? What are we going to say? We don't have it? What are we going to say to them? We have to give it out regardless. And what they're saying is, we'll give it out, we'll just print more money. Printing more money weakens the dollar, floods the economy with paper dollars, weakens the dollar, and that will lead to gold and silver prices rising. It's a direct correlation. And if you think that America is rich enough to give out all this money, then you're sadly mistaken, because America's $27 trillion in debt. And the only reason America is the richest country in the world is because we own the most gold. Think about that. We're determining a country's wealth from how much gold they have, not how much they have in their bank account or how many dollar bills they have. Think about that. Now let's apply that same principle from a person-to-person perspective. You're saying we're determining who has the most wealth off of how much gold and silver they have. I'm going to end this video on that note. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is the Reddit short squeeze was the start of it. It's gonna be a much more, it's a lot bigger than a couple of people, even a lot of people trying to short squeeze silver. Yes, it can kickstart things. Yes, it can jump things, but silver is fundamental, supply and demand. Yes, speculation is starting to enter the market more and more, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that silver will naturally be short squeezed just from the rising scenario, the increasingly dramatic scenario we're in, where people are almost forced, have no other choice because they're going to start understanding the dollar's collapsing. Right now, people that jumped on the Reddit train did it, but in the future, I think it's almost going to be not a question. There's no other decision to make. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to post daily videos. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.